Hi everyone, Mark Warwick, BDM for multi-site retail for Distech Controls. Welcome to our coffee breaks. This is our second one actually. The purpose of these are to highlight some future-ready technologies and the people using these technologies to effectively manage multi-site retail customers. So today we got two industry experts, our very own Distech Controls Mitch Day, as well as energy controls consultants Jason Combs. So welcome. And Mitch, do you mind leading us off with a little background of yourself?
Sure. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having us on today. As Mark said, my name is Mitch Day. I am the regional sales manager for Distech Controls for Florida and Georgia. I've been in the building automation industry for about 22 years now, with Distech Controls coming up on my fourth year right now. I work with Jason. Jason is one of our partners located in South Florida, so I've been working with him for the last 4 years and very excited to be able to talk about this topic today.
And Jason, cue the coffee, but are you drinking Cuban coffee down there? Because you'll be running around if you are.
I'm not. I used to, and I could never sleep at night, so I gave it up.
So please tell us a little bit about energy control and yourself.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Mark. My name is Jason Combs. I'm president of Energy Control Consultants. We were established in 1978. We're a family business. My father started this company back in '78. We used to manufacture our own control systems, and we were even doing multi-site retail with our control system. We had branded Envirocom, which we still have some in service today that we still maintain where we can. And as they fail, we replace with Distech. In early 2000, around 2001, 2002, we chose to get out of the manufacturing business, and we became a Distech control system integrator. And this was before Distech was using Niagara. We found the product was so flexible. We saw the capabilities it had even back then with the older products, and we started deploying the LawnWorks product. They didn't have BACnet at the time, so and we've been a Distech provider ever since. I have 20 years experience. I've been doing, oh, look at Mitch's cat. I've done everything since it's a family business, even from when I was in high school, putting control systems in the school I went to for my father. I went from everywhere from doing the installation, moved on into the design engineering, got into the programming of things, and even project management. So I've had a little bit of, I got the opportunity to experience a little bit of everything throughout the business, and now I'm president, and I'm grateful to be here. Great, working with Distech Controls. So I'm excited.
Great, Jason. So first question goes to Mitch, because he's sort of a movie star in it himself. So he was on Distech TV talking about openness of control systems, and just wanted to reiterate your passion around that, and talk through that, Mitch, will you?
Sure, absolutely, Mark. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, it says that I'm an open systems evangelist, right? So I like to spread the good news. For me, having spent the first 19 years of my career working with other OEM manufacturers with significantly more proprietary infrastructure and a more locked-in model to how they go to work, it was fascinating to me to come to work at Distech and understand how we really commit to and embrace this open systems architecture of how we deliver things. It all really comes down to one concept: that the customer, the end user who actually owns the buildings and owns the systems, should have choice over who they use, why they use them, and how they continue to service, extend, and support their systems. One of the most fascinating things to me is that Distech has been designed from our very, very early days, when Jason talked about our earliest controllers, with that philosophy in mind, that the controller should be open, should be unlocked, and we don't put a lot of research and development into figuring out ways to try and lock customers into situations where they have to use us. What that does is two things. It lets us pour a lot of our research and development money into features and benefits that directly impact the end user customer and system integrators like Energy Control. But it also creates an environment where those open controllers can be used in really, really innovative and creative ways. And that's some of the stuff that Jason and Energy Control have been doing with us for 20 years now. Every time I go down to visit him, he shows me some new thing that he's doing with our technology that I didn't even know was possible. And you can't do that without this open, innovative environment. The moment you try and lock that proprietary hardware down, you lock out all the innovation and all of the unique techniques that people like Jason can use.
So Jason, you mind expanding a little bit on Distech's openness and how it helps you manage multi-site retailers?
Sure. So especially on the new products that come out, the Distech products with the multi protocols that are available to us now gives us the flexibility of choosing which flavor we want that matches our customers' infrastructure, especially if we're going into multi-site retail. We're always at the mercy of the shell of these stores where pulling wire might not be capable, might not be possible, or if not, it's extremely costly. So with the fact that Distech offers a LawnWorks product line, a BACnet MSTP product line, and a BACnet IP product line, now wireless capabilities, there's really no limitation of what ahead of us is to be able to deploy control systems in existing facilities. Also the software that's available for us, like Mitch was saying, we write some of our own custom drivers that interacts with Distech controls. Like we use SensorFact for our data analytics that we use for tracking performance of buildings and whatnot, and all of the integration literature and everything's all out there. So there's nothing locked down. There's nothing stopping us from getting data from Distech field controllers, whether it's using pure Eclipse product line or with the ECNet Niagara platform. So it makes it very easy for us to integrate our technology.
What I like the best about it, Mark, is that when you have a customer chooses to use Jason for a second job and a third job and a fourth job for exactly one reason. What's that reason, Jason?
We provide solutions.
Yeah, you do a good job at a fair price, and if you make a mistake, you come back and fix it.
Cost effective and
yeah, it's the best business model in the entire world, is doing a great job for your customers, and that's what the Distech product forces people to do is excellence in implementation, and Energy Control is a fantastic example of how that market works.
So Jason, let's talk about the pilot you just did for a major retailer that had an outdated BMS system, and they sort of wanted to upgrade. They did have some things in place. How did the flexibility really help with that?
Oh, it works great because and it's funny because as we look through the varieties of, even though we had some of these older obsolete control systems, the technology that was in place went from the older generation products that had proprietary protocols. We were able to use drivers that were available for us to integrate with existing field devices without the customer having the expense of replacing all that hardware. As some of the newer stores went into more open protocol systems, we were able to reuse those field devices as well, using whether it's LawnWorks and any devices that were proprietary that we could not integrate in. We were able to pick right out of the Distech product line an open protocol system or field device to make it the system as a whole entirely LawnWorks, BACnet, whatever, open protocol systems that we can provide an end user interface that is transparent to the customer. They can't tell the difference whether is this a LawnWorks device or is this a BACnet device or is this a proprietary device. It all looks the same and it functions the same.
That's great. Mitch, how about other clients as far as flexible architecture? I mean, the flat BACnet IP versus, the Modbus MSTP. I mean, I think that's very powerful. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we've been talking about open protocols for a long time as the basis of how we began a conversation about open systems. The idea that if you take a handful of open protocols and everybody has some knowledge of how to use those, you should be able to open up systems and engage with end user customers to get long-term use out of legacy systems, to be able to use third-party devices. Distech is really at the heart of that, though, where we use a single tool to program all of our controllers, regardless of our flavor of what you're communicating. So when Jason is doing this job for this big retailer, he doesn't have to learn 7 different programming languages on 8 different tools. He's got a single tool that is going to encompass the LawnWorks side of our business, the BACnet MSTP side of our business, the BACnet IP side of our business, the Modbus side of our business, as well as any of these legacy devices that will be brought in on proprietary protocols through a Niagara Tritium interface. It's just a really, really powerful way of utilizing that technology that's going to leave the customer, as Jason said, with a view, a single pane of glass into their system where the people responsible for the equipment won't know or care how old or what generation of technology that particular product was using. What they're really going to be able to tell is how well is it working, how much energy is it using, and how often are they going to need to dispatch someone out to provide preventative maintenance and time-saving techniques. And it really, our open protocols and our open systems is at the heart of how that works. Other customers are doing the same thing in a lot of different environments. I like the enterprise retail because, as Jason said, there's a huge diversity of installed systems. But that's really true everywhere you go, whether it's commercial real estate or data centers. We have a customer right now down in South Florida, right next to Jason, that is taking over a gigantic hospital chain that had a mishmash of legacy systems and some very, very expensive service contracts. They're accomplishing the same thing that Jason is right now, that single pane of glass with a Distech logo up in the corner. Everything else downstream of it it continues to be functional through the intended lifespan of the product.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think 4 days ago, we just released our new ECY thermostat. Mitch, you mind giving us a little discussion about that?
Sure. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this product. And I think it's a particularly interesting product in this environment of talking about enterprise retail. For a very long time, as you looked at some stores that were, you get a particular store that has 3, 4, 5 rooftop units, maybe a fairly simple system. A lot of times there was a cost inhibition to putting complex building automation systems into those spaces. There was an impression that there was an upfront hardware cost. By the time you got a head end with graphics and alarms and trends and all of these things, that sometimes the size of the facility really wasn't large enough to support that. We now, so what a lot of people did is they would just kind of sometimes they put in dumb thermostats. Sometimes they put in a weekly programmable thermostat, and they kind of get some of the energy that they would be able to get out of it. Our new Eclipse Thermostat is really a best of breed. If you think of it, it is a fully programmable intelligent thermostat that could be used to replace any of those older intelligent thermostats out there. But it also has all of the power of Eclipse inside it. So it has a full graphics engine, it has a full trend engine, it has a full alarm engine, it has communication both in wired and wireless interfaces. And one of the things that I think is going to be truly amazing in the sector that we're talking about today is the ease of installation and the short amount of time it takes to replace an existing thermostat in the space, replace it with an Eclipse thermostat, and add a huge amount of functionality without having to engage a lot of electrical labor or have the store shut down for hours and hours. Really is a pop and replace and add a lot of functionality. Really, really interesting product. And honestly, I'm tremendously excited to see what Energy Control is going to do with this product, because I know what we think it does. It is like all of the rest of our hardware, built on an open platform with a truly open, unlocked architecture. So as amazing as I think it is today, I'm looking forward to coming back in 2 years and talking to Jason about what he's been able to make it do.
Yeah, I see it as for Jason, another tool in his belt, right? So, yeah. Jason, you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so like Mitch said, we manage some of these retail facilities, even on old legacy equipment. We help support their old equipment. Typically, they'll have a phase out of some of that old equipment when they do remodels and whatnot. But some of this equipment that's been installed even back from in the 90s, they're still operating today. But when equipment fails, we noticed the common workflow process that our customer has in place is, okay, you got a control system that fails, get your local HVAC contractor and then put in a thermostat, programmable thermostat, and return air, because there's no visibility from remote. So next thing you know, you just defeated the control system. Well, if the control system's failed, or if it's just offline, now the system's been defeated, and now you got a temporary thermostat in place, most likely running 24/7. This could be an excellent solution to have pre-configured for the retailer and have a plan for them when you have failed equipment, failed systems out there when they occur. Don't put the programmable thermostats in there. Put this pre-configured ECY stat out there, and let's get remote access to it. At least we have some sort of functionality, and then we could build upon that. And those would be considered what we call like emergency retrofits. It was never planned, but at least it's not something that a growing list of locations, because we have some locations where they've got, hundreds of facilities, and if they've got, 10 systems fail a week, now they're starting to build up a whole project list it can be expensive, where somebody's already bypassed the system. Why not use this as a permanent solution rather than a temporary?
Yeah, and to Mitch's point, I think, now we're looking at even smaller box, convenience stores, quick serve restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I think it opens up where now they can have a BMS system that they can really save energy with.
Right, and the fact that it's wireless, you don't have to pull wired.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that wraps it up. I'm out of coffee. Thanks so much. If you guys out there want to know more about Distech controls or energy consultants, please reach out, and we'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.